I am now recording.
Okay. Could you like step forward a little bit so you're out of the shot? Sorry, this is a professional.
Professional.
We're gonna start recording, so hang on like 10 minutes. No!
I already am recording.
Alright, I'm like a professional actor. You ready?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm recording an intro for the video.
Oh, I got you.
It's a little late, but...
It's okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Alright. So today we had a plan that we were going to visit Stables Airsoft in Gilbert's, Illinois.
But we didn't.
They decided to take a 3-week hiatus and close. So we couldn't really do that. We wanted some CQB action.
Indeed.
So we all put our brain cells together and thought, what is the one place that we can get some CQB that's somewhat close? Well, it's the one place we never said that we would go back to.
It's that one place.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airsoft Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yee.
So if you saw my original series, you'll know that we didn't have a very good time last time we were here. We had issues with the players, issue with the ref, issue with the field itself. And we've just been traveling, telling people like of our experience. I made 3 videos on my channel, like I said.
Trace.
So we saw on their Facebook page, they were looking for recommendations on how to make the field better. We said like, hey, if you guys make any changes, let us know.
What are you doing?
Recording a video. What up, boy? No. Well, you know, they said if you make any changes, let us know. We might want to come back. And they never got back to us on that. So we decided to take it upon ourselves, make the trip, and see what changed. And what you're about to witness is what we witnessed today. Dragons, nomads, and everybody in between, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back once again to Milwaukee. Now, this is going to be a little bit different video than I've been posting. As you see, there is gameplay going on in the background. However, it's not going to do any sort of kill counter. The gameplay isn't the focus. I just have it in the background. What I want to focus on today is our return trip, how it went and how it compared to the first time we went. If you have not seen it yet on my channel, I uploaded a 3-part mini-series last March in 2023 about our trip to Milwaukee. There was the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's very creative, I know. Now, the good was very simple. It was pretty much just a normal airsoft video. It focused on the fun that we had, running around, shooting people, playing the game modes. The bad focused on a couple of particular issues with the field itself, as well as the staff and one of the referees. And then the ugly focused on one particular instance I had with a guy who was not calling hits, guy who just started freaking out on me for no reason, as well as some issues we had with other players that my team had also brought to my attention that I put in those videos. If you want to know details, you can go watch the original videos. I'm not going to get super into that right now. What I want to focus on is the bad. The field, the referee, the players, and how it measured up to our return trip. I want to try to go through this as quickly as possible while being thorough, and I don't want to just sit here rambling for 20 minutes. So when it came down to the field itself, there were 3 main criticisms I had. The first one being a safety hazard. There were wet spots all over the floor. If you look at the floor here, you can see it is completely smooth. It's really easy for somebody to slip, especially if their feet are wet. Now, if you also look at the ceiling, there are a ton of pipes running through these places, which, if that's the cause of, you know, all the wet spots that was going on, that's understandable. However, the employees had absolutely no warning. They had given us no warning about these wet spots, and there was nothing on the field that was marking these wet spots. Therefore, it was completely up to us to just run out there and find out where they are, because somebody would probably run through it and slip and bust their ass. It happened to me one time when I was at lag. It was not fun. I did the splits, slammed my knees into the ground, it hurt, and I couldn't run very well for the rest of the day. Now, this, I believe, would just be a really easy fix. If they cannot fix the pipes themselves from leaking, then what they should do is, like I said, make an announcement to all the players that there's potentially wet spots out there. If they go out and find any, maybe mark them with tiny little traffic cones. I can't imagine buying a set of traffic cones is super expensive, especially like, you know, those colorful ones that you could probably find them on Amazon pretty cheap or whatever. But that's a super easy fix. Now, these next 2 gripes I have are more personal things. It's not really something that benefits or does not benefit the field. It's just things that I think would personally make it better. One of them is that in some of the windows, they have this net over it where you cannot shoot through. You can see through it, but BBs will catch it. There's no point killing, you know, there's no point trying to shoot through them because you're just going to be bouncing right off of them. But there are, I believe, 4 of these on the field, and 2 of them are in really high traffic areas, and what it does is it just causes people to sit behind the windows and make call-outs to their team. You see me staring at the police station right here. They will just sit behind the window that's on the police station and call out to their team. There's 2 guys in there, there's 3 guys to the right, and it just creates super campy gameplay. I've played games on both sides where somebody will just be sitting in behind those windows, just calling out to their team. They're not shooting at anybody, they're not trying to advance on anybody, they're not trying to play any sort of objective if there is any. They just sit there and stare through the window with their guns pointed down, and it's just completely unnecessary in my opinion. This is something that I had mentioned in the original series. They either need to open up those windows so you can shoot through them, or just close them entirely so you cannot see through them. Part of the fun of running CQB is doing some like room clearing. You go in not knowing what you're going to run into. You got to check all your corners. You could go in and see nobody. You could go in and run into 1 guy, 2 guys, maybe the entire enemy team. And that's part of the big fun of it, you know? And if there's a window and you can look through it and you can shoot through it, that's fine. But if there's a window you can't shoot through, then there's just no point in my opinion. And lastly, the third thing that I had an issue with at this field. Now again, this is a more personal issue, and I did somewhat mention it already, but it's the game modes, or rather the lack in variety of game modes. The first time that we went, I played 5 games in total, and 4 of them were basically team deathmatch. This time that we went, I played 3 games in total. I think our whole squad was there for 4 to 5 games, and the first 3 of them were just straight up team deathmatch. With a big field like this, you have so much possibility for game modes. Just thinking about how small lag was in comparison to this, we had team deathmatch, kill confirmed, capture the flag, domination. We played a little bit of hardpoint a couple times, I'm pretty sure. There was the all-team medic, single-team medic, king of the hill. Like, there's just so much bigger variety, even VIP, infected. And this place, as far as I know, maybe has only played 3 or 4 modes. The big thing about that is you have to be able to have the staff to retain these game modes. You need to be able to run them properly. And if that's part of the issue, then that's fine. They got to do what they got to do. It's just something I would personally like to see, especially when we played the bomb game mode, if you guys saw my original videos. Well, not the original videos, but the return to videos. Once those bombs were armed, whether you were on offense or defense, the intensity cranked up to like 15. It was nuts. Everybody was just balls to the wall trying to get to that bomb, whether they were defending it or whether they were trying to disarm it. It was just so much fun. And if you guys remember the Blackjack series, if you guys watched that as well, that's the shit that I love. I love having the objective. I love having something to fight towards because it means that your kills and your pushes and your advances actually mean something to your team. Rather than, you know, it's fun to just run around and shoot people. It's fun to just go around and have senseless violence every once in a while. But when it's the only thing you're doing, it becomes tedious and boring. And once again, that's just my opinion. If that's what you like doing, then maybe you'd like this a lot more than me. But personally, I would just like to see a bigger variety of game modes. And now up next, I want to talk about the staffing at the Airsoft Arena. The first time we went, it was atrocious. The staff did not care to be there, they were unhelpful, they were disrespectful, and the one ref in particular, like I mentioned, was very vulgar, he was very rude to us, he's also very disrespectful, and just nobody seemed to care about being there, and nobody cared about any of us that were there. I believe there was about 20 of us that went on our first trip, spent hundreds of dollars. We gave this business hundreds of dollars in admission and everything else, and they just did not care about us at all. And as a business, you would think that the number one priority is your customers, but it seemed like the number one priority of these guys was just to not want to be there. Overall, I will say our return trip was much, much, much better. I don't know if the ref that we had an issue with still works here or not. I don't know if he quit. I don't know if he's been fired. I don't know if he just wasn't there that day. Regardless, the people that were there made this trip amazing. The referees actually cared about what they were doing. They cared about what they were saying, and they also cared about us being there. I remember in particular there was one of the referees who was going around after one of the matches asking everybody how it went, asking if anybody had any issues, and I don't know if this is something that they just normally do now, or if this is something that they just did this one particular time. However, it was nice to see that they cared. You know, we told them we may or may not have had a couple issues or whatever. We brought it up to them, and he dealt with it, and it was really nice to see that. Also, before every single game, we would go out onto the field. The referees would explain the rules. Now, I thought this was a little unnecessary because they have you watch a safety brief that goes over all of their rules in detail before you are even allowed to play on their field at all. So you're supposed to, know the rules, understand the rules, but then before the games actually start, they go over the rules again. The first time we went, they were talking for maybe 10-15 minutes before the game started, which was just wasting everybody's time. This time, they would only talk for about 2 to 3 minutes, which wasn't that bad. Just still a little unnecessary in my opinion. However, all of the staff was super helpful. They were all very nice. They all cared about being there, and they all cared about us being there, which was a great turnaround from the first time we went, and I would say that is a definite improvement. Now, talking about the players of the Airsoft Arena is going to cut a little bit into the ugly part of my mini-series, which I said I want to focus on the bad. However, I cannot talk about the Airsoft Arena without talking about the players. And you cannot talk about Airsoft without talking about the players, because without players, there's no Airsoft. You can't play against nobody. Now, the first time we went, we had ran into a particularly atrocious set of players. People not calling their hits, people shooting after they're already dead, people not calling grenade kills, not calling bang kills, just a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, not going to go into details. Go watch my original series if you're interested. However, I do want to say that it was a lot better this time. There were still a few hiccups. Now, that being said, I feel like no matter what field you go to, anywhere in the country, you are going to run into players who play like this. I'm sure you guys have all seen the Airsoft cheaters and fights and flip-out videos that are just plaguing YouTube. And while, yes, we did run into a couple hiccups on our trip, no, I would not say we ran into anybody that was necessarily cheating. We didn't run into anybody that was super blatant, anybody that was disrespectful, anybody that was even just downright a dick. Everybody was pretty chill. It was fun to play with everybody. It was a good time, especially compared to the first time. Now, I do also want to mention that although it was fine this time, that doesn't mean that it's going to be fine every single time we go. To my understanding, the Airsoft Arena does still have a pretty negative reputation behind it, especially after some of the comments that I've been seeing on my videos. What I can say about the player base is that it seems to be very inconsistent. I see comments saying that they go a lot and it's great. I see comments saying that they go and it's not great. I even saw one comment, I believe, where somebody said, I was there the day before you, and it was not that great. And then they said that they were watching my videos from the day after, because we usually go out on Sundays, so this player went on Saturday before us, and he said that this looked a lot better to what he experienced. And like I said too, the unfortunate part is just that there's nothing we can do about this. You can ban players, you can kick them out for being, dishonest and not calling their hits and cheating, but the problem is that you need players to play this sport. This is not something that you can just go out and do by yourself. It would get very boring. And no matter where you go, you're going to run into people like this. It's just unfortunate. I really hope that the people who go here start to do better. I really like this field. I really like the location it's in. I love the layout of it. I think that they have opportunity to do better with a couple of things, and part of that is the player base. Now, to conclude this video, I do want to say that after our recent experience at the Airsoft Arena, I do definitely recommend you go check it out. This place is a lot of fun. If you're itching to get some CQB, this place is great for it. Bring a bunch of your buddies. This field is huge. It can support a lot of players. However, do be wary that there is a possibility that you are going to run into some hiccups. Like I said, it's not perfect. There's still somewhat of a negative reputation surrounding this place. However, just turn off your brain, go in there with the expectation to have fun, and you should be okay. Now, I will also mention that at the time of this recording, it is currently Sunday the 21st. Next Sunday, on the 28th, Paul and some of his guys with the Nomads are planning on coming here, so I believe I will get some of their footage from it. I might be able to edit some things together. We were supposed to go to Stables today at the time of this recording, which is really sad. They closed again. We've been trying to go to this place for over a fucking month now. But if Stables is open on the 28th, myself and probably some of the Dragons will be going there. If not, then we will be joining Paul and the Nomads going to Milwaukee. The problem with part of this review is that I have not been to this field enough to have a real educated opinion on it. We had a terrible experience one time, and we had a good experience one time. What I want to see is consistency. People in my comments, like I said, are saying good things, they're saying bad things. It's really inconsistent. Overall, people that we've talked to on our travels have been saying, pretty much bad things about this place. We haven't really had anybody say anything really great about it. Now, depending on how it goes for Paul and the Nomads, maybe this will be another W, maybe this will be another L for the Airsoft Arena. We'll just have to see, and if we end up going ourselves, you guys will know. You'll start seeing footage being posted probably within the next 2 weeks, I would assume. So that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys do not mind sitting through 15 minutes of me rambling. Once again, please subscribe. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we are doing the mystery box giveaway. Once we start getting closer, I'm going to start looking into like how I'm going to set it up and rules and everything like that. It will be United States only, just because that's the easiest thing for me to do. So I apologize if you're out of the country. I don't know if I even really have any subscribers out of the country. That'd be kind of crazy. It'd be really cool. Let me know where you're from if you're out of the country. Just, you know, drop it in the comments below. Also, if you have come to the Airsoft Arena, whether it's been in the past, well, I guess it has to be in the past now that I think about it. I don't think you're a time traveler and can, you know, visit in the future. But whether you've gone on a day that we have been, whether you've gone on a day where we were not there, if it was good, if it was bad, let us know in the comments below. Leave your experience, what you think of the place, as well as anybody that was with me on this trip. Dragon, Nomad, whoever. Go ahead and tell us your experience in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Do it again.
Do it again? It's like $4.
Oh my god.
I got